problem. So he did what we call a tricycle empowerment program. That tricycle was bought at the cost of 650,000 each. It's a total of 260 million or something. He bought it. He bought it in a company that's called TVS company in Lagos. That's Indian tricycle company. He bought it at it cost. You know, the same day, one state in the north, I will not mention the state, came, he said they to buy 1,000 tricycles. The governor came to buy 400 because of our district. The governor bought at 650. That state bought at 1,050,000. I don't know exactly. I'm not reading from anywhere. I'm telling you the way it is. The same company, the same day, the same receipt, the same TVS brand new tricycle. You can see a man of progress, a man of transparency, a man of passion to serve his people, to serve selflessly. And that is the governor for you. Do you know when he came back in Ebonyi State? What did he do? He had to give this thing free of charge. Grant, 650,000 per person. That's the meaning, the worth of the tricycle. But there in that state, do you know what they did? They gave it as a facility to be paid over 3 years with interest. What a very wonderful, the governor of compassion. And now he came back again and said, hey, we should look at nationalism. We should look at encouraging unity, love in our nation. So he now looked at the security officials. Of course, you know, by advantage, in police, in army, in SS, in civil defense, in all of that, immigration, the majority of the employees there, of course, they are not Igbos. Of course, you know that, let alone being a Igbo. But the governor picked these people and now had to really provide them. Those that went for training, west of security officials, especially senior officials, they were trained and given 200,000 each. Of course, 90% of them are non-indigenous. Some are Igbos, but not Ebonians. Some are from the north. And he gave them 200,000 each. And now these are the issues. And they kind of looked at what is happening in the Christendom. I feel that there are issues, and issues of, you know, a lot of problems, not saying it and doing it the way you are saying. So he thinks that one of the problems is not having second address. If you don't have something doing and you're a pastor, the tendency of all of these things are there. And so the governor had to roll out a sum of 500,800,000 and said, can you profile and train? Of course, the government trained a total of 5,008 people and gave them 100,000 each. If you calculate 100,000 times 5,008, it will give you 5,800,000. So you can see I'm not reading from papers, I'm telling you the way it is. And these people are now having something that they are doing just to encourage them to have second address. And the government is thinking that more than 80% of the business should be agro-based. And that's what is going on now, and it has encouraged a lot. It has also inspired them to look at something different from the pulpit. And the governor looked at his covenant. He said his mission is really to, the mission of the governor is to ensure the welfare of the people and to empower all Ebonians to be self-reliant through the compassionate delivery of a transparent and God-fearing governance that is based on dignity and integrity. That is the principle that is governing the government. I had to develop 5-fold covenant. One of them is what I'm trying to drive at or arrive at. And that is how to empower our widows. The governor looked at the poorest of the poor widows. In the 171 wards of the state, now said, can you profile me the worst of them? And they were profiled, they were shortlisted. About 4,300 number, yes. 4,300 number, not about, exactly. He gave them 100,000 naira each. Parents of the poor widow, those that are into small 5,000 naira market. And today they are cruising. That has impacted on education. Today the enrollment in the school system has really increased, school enrollment. Because the widows have opportunities of fending for themselves, of being self-reliant, of taking care of their children. And that has actually affected our security. I'll come back to security. I'll come back to that. Now let me just conclude in the area of education. So the governor has really helped in ensuring that education has quality and quantity in Ebonyi State. What he did was to introduce a vocational education, vocational institute. He also introduced what is called King David Gifted School. This vocational school is to train artisans, those roadside mechanics, those panel beaters, and all of that. They now have opportunity of going to school. This time they are not a pure academic school, but a vocational school, whereby they will be trained for not less than 2 years, between 2 years and 4 years, and they will be given certification. And with this certification, the idea of the government is that both the technicians, the artisans, the craftsmen, they can now have opportunity of accessing the numerous empowerment funds by the federal government, by the CBN, by the Bank of Industry, by the state government, by donor agencies, by development partners, home, abroad. And so that is going to impact cumulatively the security of the state. The government is not thinking about only fortifying the security. After all, it has done that excellently well. If you go to State Police Command, it's the most beautiful in Nigeria. We are not exaggerating. I'm thinking it's also competing very well with the Louis Edet's house in Abuja, the IG's office. It's competing with that, but I'm not saying it's better. I can't buy any lower. Now, the governor went to the army barracks, the cargo barracks we have, and did what we call road construction with concrete pavement to network the entire roads. Today, that place, no pothole, nothing. It used to be full of pothole. Of course, it's a very old barrack. The governor went virtually in all the barracks, all the commands, like even the prison service, now called the correctional service, even the immigration, civil defense, and all of that, and road safety. And did a lot of wonderful things in the area of social amenity, providing light, providing water, providing wonderful, situation in the area, including tiring up their road, their internal roads. And now the governor thinks that beyond this, beyond providing, what I call, the facilities, security facilities, anywhere you go, if you steal in that point, the CCTV camera will catch you. It is stationed in the major junctions of the state, not only in the metropolis, but in the satellite and the localities. The governor thinks that beyond this, what he should do is to provide social security. Today, Ebonyi State has no incident of capital flight. All the money they are spent here, they are also, earned by the indigenes. And the governor's idea of indigenes is not those who are natives only, but natives are non-natives who are residents. If you are resident in Ebonyi State, you are a native of Ebonyi. That is the idea. And so all the gains, all the benefit that goes to native will also go to you. So the government gives them contracts. Of course, through that way, Ebonyians, men and women, are in construction sites. So Ebonyi is like having the highest number of construction sites. It's really a construction site. I don't want to bore you, but I have to be a bit exhaustive before you ask me more questions. So today, as I speak with you, anywhere you go, you see construction sites, men and women of Ebonyi doing it. Yes, we can tell you that we have a cheap level because we are men of honor and integrity. We don't believe in the emphasis on selfishness, or materialism. We don't believe that because the governor has really demystified offices. That's why, as a commissioner, I don't have to be competing myself. With a businessman or with a professional like Dr. Nana. I should be contented with the salary I earn and be happy to them serving the people. And so that's what is happening. Now let me just tell you that virtually all the contracts that are being done, including these flyovers, but not flyovers, they are done by people, civil servants, professionals. And that's because the government has what is called a mentorship program, which is part of the social security. A mentorship program whereby the engineers, mechanical, electrical, I'll tell you about electrical vehicle, what we call zero oil initiative of the government, whereby these engineers are now absorbed and they are made to be part of the construction. Whereby even medical doctors are absorbed. I'm coming to medicine so that you will not charge me. I'm coming to health. In the area of health sector, we have 171 wards and 260 number health wards. The governor did either construction or completion or furnishing of what we call the primary healthcare centers in each of these wards. So in each of the wards, of course, it has already connected all the health centers with roads. So we have got no issue about accessing the area or the places. Now beyond this, the governor had to really ensure either the construction or completion and or furnishing of the secondary healthcare system. Talking about the general hospitals. Each of the local government has a general hospital. Well furnished. Of course, they have solar energy, so in the night you see light. And so we are going to build the biggest medical college in the whole of Africa. And it's going to have a concept, a dialysis center, like dialyzers. Nowhere in Africa you can see that, but we are going to do that, yeah. And it's going to be a money spinner, but the revenue is going to be generated. Now, our idea, the governor's idea, is that this medical college should be a concept that will reduce the incidence of traveling abroad for medical attentions. And it's looking at critical health issues, liver problem, blood issues, bone issues, and all of that. And these are the areas that the governor thinks that the police should contribute. Don't forget, the governor, with his ingenuity, with his contact, his influence, and the connection, had to attract military referral center. That is the biggest in the whole of the southern part of Nigeria. They are building it. In the next few months, it will be completed. Now, this medical college is going to be a center of excellence for all of these ailments, this rare ailment that normally take Nigerians abroad. And so we are also using this opportunity to inform Nigerians abroad and even our investors abroad to come and invest in this medical college. They can come and also help us donate gratuitously, or find a way of partnering with us by way of personnel and other infrastructure. And it's going to help us a lot. The governor had to build what we call a emergency hospital complex that has about 400 number beds capacity. And this center of excellence is one of the most beautiful. He built donated to the federal government to help the federal teaching hospital. And so these are the issues. Of course, we have a virology center that assisted us when we had COVID-19. We still have it anyway, but it's reducing on a daily basis, minimally, such that we have now lifted all bans in all our economic and social activities because we have really conquered COVID-19 in every state. I can tell you categorically, governor thinks that light is very critical. When he came on board, he said in his address that he's going to make a point to be in the map of the states in the world that you can come and see light. And today, as I speak with you, no state, no city in Nigeria has the kind of street light that we have, or light system that we have. We have 12 hours non-stop street light. See, I mean non-stop. You can't see it anywhere in Nigeria. Now, what did he do? He made sure that no less than 90% of the streets of the metropolis, both the metropolis and the satellite towns, are done with, they have the street lights. And like I said, the ingenuity that he adopted makes it possible that no sabotage at all does happen. If there's any case of spoiled bulb, the next minute it is changed. And we have never recorded. That's really something we need to appreciate about the government. Of course, that's what he also used to beautify the light tunnels, all the flyovers. When you go, you see beautiful lighting system. That has encouraged nightlife, and that has also reduced drastically the case of insecurity. I can tell you that we are Ebonyi State has the safest, security situation, have the safest security profile among the states of the federation. As a commissioner, I drive myself. I walk through the streets. I may go with the ordinary persons like me, and we interact just like what we see in the United States, where a president will walk around, go to buy something in the market. That is what happens here. If the governor is passing, they will be hailing. Hey, Akubaroha, Akubaroha. And they'll be hailing. Why? Because he has really done the hearings of the people. He's a man that came. I said he came, before he came, he was prepared by God. He moved around the communities as a party chairman, and moved around the communities as a dedicated deputy governor. And so he knows where it pinches. And so he had to track and tackle aggressively all the issues, our deficits in infrastructure, our human capital deficits, and all the issues. Before, sir, you are from Abia, perhaps you from Anambra State. We had issues of inferiority complex. I will not shy away from mentioning that. But today, if there's anything like superiority complex, we have it. We can boldly tell you that we have come of age, that Ebonyi State is now a shining light. It's a center of excellence. Excellence is truly the salt of the nation. We can boldly tell you that today Ebonyi is a signpost of excellence. It's a reference point in good governance. We can boldly welcome you to say, come to Ebonyi. Can you come and pass a night in Ebonyi State? We can boldly say, investor, please, we want you to come. We have got the environment, we have got the security, we have got the infrastructure, we have got the personnel, the human capital, and we have got the cheap labor too to drive it because of our nature of integrity and honesty. We can tell you that we believe in one Nigeria. We believe that the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain. We are not canvassing for separatism or for secession. I am speaking as Commissioner for Information. We are conversing for a united Nigeria where there will be love, egalitarian society where things will be done the way they should be done. And that is the prayer of the people of Ebonyi State. So we don't belong to those that are saying we must, be Biafra. No, because we believe that one day the dreams of our founding fathers. I watched the inaugural speech of President Sir Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and I was shedding tears. How passionate the man was about a united nation, yes. When he spoke, he invited Sir Nnamdi Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa. He invited Awolowo. He invited Ahmadu Bello. He said, let us build Nigeria of our choice. And I believe that dream should not be allowed to quench for reasons of provocation, for reasons of marginalization. We must get here. God is in control in this country, I assure you. And that is the way to go. I believe that one day we shall have another Nnamdi Azikiwe in Nigeria. And this time around we unite us, and all the woes, all the wounds will be healed. We strongly believe, because that is strength in number, that is strength in this nation called Nigeria, if we can continue to be together in unity and in love. And that is the dream and the passion of the governor. And that is why we feel that our governor is really an exporting material. He's not a local material. He's a man that we need to study. I call him an institution. The governor is an institution. If you want to talk about it in the area of passion, you need to study him and you will never get it. All the things that we have done in Ebonyi State as a people, as a government, they are his brainchild. He conceptualizes them. He tells you, Commissioner, look at the way it should be done. And so we are striving, running, to see if we can take half 5% of his ideas. And his ideas are germane. His ideas are perfect. His ideas are, of course, he's a man of creativity. His creative ingenuity is second to none. Has no part two. It only has part one. And so these are the issues about Ebonyi State and our governor. NUC, you know, they had the education index. They wanted to know the best local government in the area of admission. The local government in Nigeria that has the highest number of students that got admission. That was in 2017, and it's still counting. Do you know what happened? Out of the 774 local government areas, a local government in Ebonyi State came first, and that is Ipo local government area. It's a neighboring local government that is local government. In the whole Nigeria, including Lagos and Abuja everywhere. And that is the impact of the educational activities in Ebonyi State. And now they looked at the best JAMB candidates that did medicine. They were looking at law, medicine, those records. Do you know what happened? In the whole Nigeria, thousands of students, the best medical student that got admission, that took JAMB and got admission to study medicine in Nigeria University is an Ebonyian. Somebody gave me this, I never knew. There was a vice chancellor, still currently the vice chancellor of Federal University of Ndufali, that gave me this, Alexander University, that showed me this. And that was the outcome of the NUC analysis. Now let's talk about the World Bank appraisal about our health programs. They looked at our maternity rate. What did they say? They said that Ebonyi is above average. I make a whisper this one. They said Ebonyi's index is better than that of Nigeria's Federation. World Bank 2018 index. Federal government looked at our agricultural program. Federal government said Ebonyi State is one of the 3 best in agriculture in Nigeria and is counted to today. Of course, it's later I was commissioner for agriculture when that was pronounced. Before I went to human capital development, and now I'm in information. At the point I was holding both information and human capital development as the first commissioner in Ebonyi State to hold two ministries at a time. And so I can authoritatively tell you all of these things. And now let me also say that some individual national organizations have made an assessment. They talked about level of reduction of poverty. And the governor thinks that development is twin-based. We have the physical infrastructure, we have the human infrastructure. And it's combining these two things at the same time. Don't forget, God, in His creation, first of all, gave the environment. Is it not true? Mm-hmm. He now created a human being to drive the environment. And that's the way the governor thinks. That infrastructure is very, very critical. Environment is critical. The human development is very, very critical. Because the human that drives the physical, the infrastructure. And now what did he do? He now began to do things differently, the area of empowerment. He understood our situation, that we used to have the highest number of hawkers along the cities of Nigeria. And the governor was so mad about that and said he must change the narrative. And it's going to take a lot of time, but he thinks that it must be done. He started by going to Lagos. He went to Lagos and introduced street to skill empowerment program. And his idea of street to skill empowerment program is to really look at the hawkers in the streets of Lagos, take them away, give them skills, that is by capacity building, training and retraining, in entrepreneurship programs, in vocational programs, even artisans, even craftsmen, even technicians, even entrepreneurs, businessmen, get them and train them in their choice trades, and now empowered each with 250,000. And it's a total of 520 number. Whatever figure I give you is accurate, is 100%. There is no exaggeration. There is no underestimation. There is no even estimation at all. And so 520 number people. On the quality of local government, each local government has 40 number persons, youths and women that were empowered. And it's a total of 130 million. Go and check it out to see. 250,000 tons. 520 is 130 million. He did that. This money is grant, free of charge. He now went to Anambra in a meeting they had in Anambra and saw Ebonians into barrel pushing. Some were professing hip-hop so strongly, like seriously at that time. If you recall what happened when the governors of the South said, no, hip-hop should not continue like this. What did the governor do as a palliative? He assembled them and said, can you identify traits? At the end of the day, it was concluded that classical should be bought and be given to them. The governor had to aggregate a total of 400 number youths and women. 140 in Onisha, and 260. If you calculate it, is 400 in the shores of the state. But he's looking at the barrow pushers, looking at the Okada riders and IPOP people that have repented and said, no, they want to get something doing. Because, of course, idleness causes a lot of things, a lot of agitation that may not necessarily be good. The material time, because negotiation is the best. One American president would say it is better to judge all than to war. And that's the way to go. Even in our Nigerian context where we have a lot of issues. My dear brother and sister, all over the place in the whole world, the best thing to do is not to war, but is to judge all. And with God being on our side, seeing the justice in our position, and seeing the marginalization we have suffered, God will cause the hearts of kings to melt. The Bible says that He will continue to move until it is even the king that holds you something will put down his hand and give it to you. That person whose turn it is, it will be given to that person. And so that's the philosophy that informed this idea of the